All right, let's talk about this processing chat. Do you guys want to write this down? We'll just write down maybe a couple of sentences of what to include, knowing that all of these questions here, pretty much the majority, we've got master classes on processing and tasking, the processing chat. If you go to the ACH platform in the master classes, all in there as well, but we'll talk about it now. So processing, let's imagine Apple's working with me. She's my therapist. She's pushed me into this room. Everything feels good. I'm in a place where anything can happen, anything good, bad, or ugly. I've got no thoughts. There's a lot of stuff going on in my head. The session is finished. All the knots are gone. We now have to alert our client as to processing is about to begin. And we've got to sort of indicate that this is really when the good stuff's about to happen. Because in my mind, that's when therapy happens. Therapy happens when the processing starts. All you've done beforehand is stopped your clients dragging in all their bullshit and their baggage into that room. That's all ACH done, is untie those knots, those thoughts, those dirty thinking, whatever it is, we'll call them dirty trances, where they're going into the room fresh, where anything can happen. There's no hindrances. So processing, we want to include everything, anything you can think of that you think a client might experience, notice, feel, experience, whatever. Okay. So let's talk about emotions. Okay. What type of emotions, if you guys have seen it, have your clients gone through when they're processing?
Laughing, like insane laughing.
Did everyone see that in the ACH training? I keep forgetting his name. When we said, does anyone remember his name? Anyway, had that.
It was Sean.
Sean. A lot of laughing. So a lot of laughing, crying, sadness, insane laughing. That's a good one. What else?
Anger.
Definitely anger. What else?
Just feeling a bit dazed.
Yeah, it's like that. It's sort of like the afterglow of trance. They feel a bit hungover, like they can't quite get their thoughts together. Everything's a bit dazed. Yep, so dazed is a good word. What else? Insomnia is a big one. I don't know why.
I feel a bit weird. Sorry.
Feel a bit weird. Yep, feel a bit weird. The reason I joke about the horny thing, that's because my lawyers used to say that. But really horny for a couple of days. Cool. It's all part of it, I guess. So
shock and embarrassment as well.
What's that, Jiggy?
Shock and embarrassment.
Yeah. Yep. What else?
I feel a lot of tension and like contraction and even sometimes depression.
Yep. I feel that a lot too. Where I find myself on processing, I'll just go to a place where I just zone out all the time. I can just sit there for an hour just staring at my whiteboard, just looking at nothing, but there's so much going on. So that's a lot of it as well. So really, you could write down 12 or 15 different emotions, and I'll show you how to frame this to your clients, okay? Also, you want to let your clients know that they might find a resource. You might have to explain what a resource is. Then that won't be good enough. Then they'll find another one. Then they'll let go of that and they'll find out. So they might go through 10 or 15 variations of a solution to the problem. Okay. They want to include that. And I'll show you how to say this to your clients. Quite easy. And if you go to the masterclass, I think I gave you a worksheet, which is actually written down. You can just memorize that. What else? Anything else we might include?
Confusion.
Confusion's a big one.
I get cranky, moody, irritable.
Yep. Mike, every time you speak, I keep listening for a Canadian accent. I keep thinking you were Canadian for some reason. You give me an unconscious moment, you talk like an Aussie, and I go, hang on, that's not right.
I was born in the States, lived in Australia for a while, and then moved back here. So it's real mixed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to say mixed, but yeah, agreed. What else, guys?
Lots of crying, lots of emotion.
Yeah, definitely a lot of emotions. So inside this processing chart, we also want to include what else? We want to include the tasking. And someone asked before, I think it was Justin, how do you speed up processing? Well, it becomes the same thing. So alert your clients about what could happen and what might, here, what I'm not saying will, could and might. And the best way for them to speed up the processing is what? What tasking should we give them?
Sleep.
Go to sleep. Go have a nap. Whatever. And again, Justin, we're asked about speeding up processing. Force your clients to go to sleep, because sleeping even for half an hour is half an hour of pure, uninterrupted, unconscious processing. Remember, every time they, or you, by giving your clients an audio, interrupts that processing consciously, you're stopping the process. Then they've got to start it, then it stops and starts and stops. Eventually, we've got to figure the unconscious mind says, well, Fritz, you think you know it all, I'm just not going to do this. Have the audio. I'm sick of you interrupting me all the time. But if they go to sleep, it's pure, unadulterated processing where they wake up feeling good. And we all know having a nap makes us feel good anyway. So it works in our favor, if not therapeutically, just hormonally and for our health as well. Okay. So all we want to do with the processing chat is just let our clients know of all the future possibilities. And this is how I frame it. Okay. Client opens their eyes or out of that trance, if that's what they've just had. I'll say, look, session's done. Congratulations, blah, blah, blah. I just want to let you know of a couple of things. This is where all the great stuff's about to happen. Well, what do you mean? Realize what we've done right now is opened up all the incredible opportunities of what's going to happen in your life and how things are going to change. Hear the priming? I'm not saying, okay, for the next 3 days, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to eat food you've never ate. You're not going to sleep because now I'm scaring. Okay. I want to let you know that with most of my clients, use most so they can refer back to other clients, they'll go through a range of emotions. 1 hour, they'll feel good. The next couple of hours, they'll feel angry. They'll start crying. They'll want to go to sleep. They'll be dazed. They'll be confused. And all of this stuff is exactly what should happen. Hear how we're framing the bad stuff by saying it's what should happen. And you can explain this. The unconscious mind is going to try on suits. They should do those lawyers because they all wear suits. So work really well for them. And you just want to let your client know if you feel these things, fantastic. If you're angry 1 second, the next second you're really, really excited and crying for no reason, fantastic. That just means whatever happens at the end of that, you're going to get a better result than what you think you will. You feel good now, but you wait for a couple of days. That's when the fucking good stuff happens. And that's when I want you to contact me and let me know how you're feeling. That's pretty much how I'd summarize that, guys. Okay. Does that make sense? Should take 30 seconds. Okay. Because I don't want them to think, I don't want Colette to leave my session and start laughing hysterically and get scared about it and think, well, Scott didn't tell me about that. Maybe it didn't work. Is this right? I don't know. And then she calls me and saying, I'm laughing hysterically and I'm crying. What's this about? Now I've got to spend my time explaining. I'd rather explain at the end of the session. Okay. So processing, tasking, we know tasking is sleep because now we're getting them to stop interrupting this processing. And I literally leave the session with my clients saying, after the sleep, let me know how you're feeling. Most of the times they wouldn't. They will, what if I need to contact you again? When will I need another session? So we won't know that until the processing's done. Wait till you start feeling normal again. I don't like the word normal, but you know what I mean. Wait till you start feeling normal. If you need me, let me know. I'm not saying I'll book you in then. I'm not saying I'll contact you because then you're obliged to because you've told him you would. 9 times out of 10, I never heard from them again. Oh, that rhymes. That's good. Does that make sense, guys? It's empowering your client for what they're about to go through and letting them know it's all good. It's all fine. Any questions on that before I answer these questions? Pretty straightforward. Fritz, go for it.
What if the client's problem is insomnia? Do you still tell them to go to sleep?
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. I think you still would. Because remember, insomnia is, and again, this is what I mean about hypnosis not being the answer to everything. Insomnia could be a dietary thing. Too much carbs, too much caffeine. Could be a medication thing. Some things you can't talk about, obviously, but you've got to exhaust logic first. That's a big thing. Okay. So yeah, I'd still, if they don't want to sleep, tell them to go walk their dog. I just don't want them sitting at their house thinking about what could happen or what should have happened, then bringing in their virgin mind about not knowing anything about hypnosis, making their own assumptions and they're screwing the whole thing up. That's what I want to try and avoid. I just need them to be consciously doing something. That's what I mean about conscious tasking. If they don't want to sleep, great. What do you want to do for the rest of the day? Well, I'm going to go walk my dog, then take my kids to the park. Awesome. Go do that. Have fun with them. Indirectly saying, don't you dare think about what we talked about today because I don't need you to. Just let it go. Tree, go.